Gen X was able to work 40 hours a week and support a 5-person family with a vacation home on one person's income. Yet they still want to claim how Gen Z just needs to work harder. Well, Gen Z has to work 3 jobs just to afford a 1-bedroom apartment on the outskirts of town. The current society has created the divide amongst our generations. Honestly, both sides of the aisle have some fair points, so let's hear what both of them have to say in today's video. And if you've personally been enjoying my daily doomer commentaries surrounding topics just like this, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts and opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily videos right here on the channel. And a huge shout out to a few of you who have checked out some of those links down below in the description. Those are some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. And another huge shout out to the few of you who became channel memberships. You can check out that link down below in the description as well, and you can see these videos early or a couple other perks. So feel free to check that out for yourself. Now let's begin this shit show.
How many of you young people are putting money away for your retirement? The reason I ask is because here I am, 73 years old. As you can see, I'm in my car. I'm doing Uber Eats to supplement my joke of a Social Security check I get every month. The reason is I've been a carpenter all my life, and most of the companies I worked for in the past didn't have retirement plans or a 401k. Now, I'm not blaming them. I blame myself. I should have put some money aside for my retirement, but I didn't, so shame on me. So my advice to you is to put as much money away now as you can for your retirement. Think of it as a bill. Instead of saving what's left after spending, spend what's left after saving. This way you'll have plenty of money to retire on and you'll enjoy your retirement. I hope you take heed to this advice. God bless and have a great rest of the day.
Based off the, intro of this video, or probably even a lot of your own self-experiences throughout your, life, maybe a lot of you younger people might think that every boomer has it made. They're set to just ride off into the sunset with absolutely no worries. When in reality, a lot of people, at least in the older ages, are starting to get to that, retirement age, or so-called retirement age, retirement. And they're starting to realize that it's not really a thing. It's not really a reality for them. It's not really exactly what it was all chopped up to be. Because the money is not stretching as far, and the work that was even done a long time ago is not really, potentially growth as much as they, it didn't, compound interest into the fortune that they once sought out to, obtain. And, it's kind of sad to think how it's like we're all going to be there one day. We're all going to be in our older years and not really be able to work 80 hours, 100 hours a week anymore. And imagine how far the dollar will go then. So instead of just judging the older people for, thinking like they haven't made, instead of the older people judging the younger people like, hey, you guys got to get it figured out, how about we all come together and realize, you know what, there's people of all ages struggling, and it's just a sad, sad sight to see once you get there and you start looking around. If you have a little bit of empathy, maybe, if you try having some of that, it can definitely hit home for you.
If the baby boomers had any self-respect and any dignity, they would all step down from political office at once. I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. I'm not just talking about Joe Biden. I'm talking about every single one of them. We need a clean sweep. We need to get rid of an entire generation in office, because it is clear that they're so detached from the reality, not only amongst Gen X, the millennials, Gen Z, and even Gen Alpha, but the reality for their own cohort. Because let's not forget, not all the boomers got wealthy. Only the 1% got wealthy. All of the rest got just as screwed as you and I, and they're not able to retire. So we need to get all of these politicians out of office because they're holding everyone back. And if we don't,
I was actually ironically thinking about this take just the other day when I was walking home from the store. It was early in the morning, and I was thinking to myself how when I was young, a lot of my friends always say how they have to change the rule that you can't apply for being president until you're over 35, or there should be a lot more younger folks in, the Senate, in the office, in Congress, throughout all the, different branches. But then, the older I get, the more I realize there are good reasons why we don't let younger people or fresh 18-year-olds or even 25-year-olds in some of these positions. There's a lot of different life experiences. There's a lot of different things that go down throughout, growing old and, getting age, where you learn things, you go through things, you think about things differently. And I feel like it probably is necessary that we do have an age limit at some extent. But I really don't think, I think this is just such a contradiction that we just, again, we're painting boomers as the problem when even this guy himself said the majority of the boomers got screwed over just alongside us, Gen Zs, millennials, all the other younger generations that we continue to touch on here on the page. And so I think we really need to break down where it's rich versus poor, guys. It's always been rich versus poor. The people in these political positions, it's not because they're old, but why they don't understand. It's because they've had money for the majority of for decades. They've had more money than they know what to do with. They control budgets larger than our entire family's generational wealth. And they don't really look at, the extra couple commas and zeros on whatever bills they're writing as serious as we do when we're writing our bills to our Xcel Energy, our rent payments, and our car notes. It's completely different, okay? We look at things completely different from the way these people look at things because of the grand amount of power they have. It's not even because of, their age. It's because of, the money. The money is everything. Money is energy, guys. It's real world, real life, reality energy. And it's when you have that much control, not only does it get to your head, I'm not saying everybody in Congress or that is a politician is, brainwashed, but it definitely makes you look at things and look at the world through a much different lens than the average person. And that's something I think we need to really put in perspective before we just keep throwing these labels. Boomers are just the problem, because I think it's not necessarily that's the whole reason.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money for 40 years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. People are going to have to work, continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Ms. Ginger? Can you say something about Social Security?
Yeah, and I'd like to point out when Social Security was first founded, those who established it, it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today, it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5.
Retirement is a scam. I'm sorry, guys. It just doesn't exist. It's a fairy tale. We've been, gifted. We've been possessed with. It's this idea, this fantasy, this phenomenon that at the end of the day, it's only really accessible to a small few of people out of the vast majority of people that exist on the earth and have ever existed on the earth. Think about the past. How many people in the past, in the last hundreds, thousands of years, have actually even had the idea of retirement? Imagine way back in the day when you were a peasant thinking, maybe one day all this will stop. No, that day was death. That death was their retirement. So these days, just assuming you get to retire, that's what we were kind of told. That's kind of the, Disney Channel story. We were kind of just, we all ate up as kids, nom, 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 nom. And didn't really. Now it's just not there. It tastes like shit. It tastes like nothing, because it's all imaginary. And so if you get to retire, if you have the secret sauce, if you have the code, if the society did work out and pan out in your favor, feel free to throw some tips and tricks down below for some of the young bucks like myself. So maybe one day we can get we can get through the pathway, through those gates of glory that you're facing. But for the majority of people out there, if you're struggling, if you still have to have multiple jobs to pay rent, if that Social Security check didn't really work out, or if it's not really cutting it, feel free to let me know your guys' experience, how you feel about the system, if you think it's a scam, a trick, and not really what it's all propped up to be. Yeah, that's going to wrap up today's video discussing retirement, Gen X, old people. If you guys have any thoughts, opinions, feel free to let me know your guys' age, generation, all your guys' thoughts, opinions regarding any topic we discussed in today's video. And if you guys have, any other thoughts, opinions on future topics I can touch on here, I do daily videos. So if you've been liking these daily doomer commentaries, feel free to like, comment your thoughts, opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily uploads here on the page. Huge shout out to all you who have checked out those links down below in the description. Those are some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. A huge shout out to the few of you who have checked out those channel memberships. You can see these videos 12 hours to 24 hours early, depends on how quickly I finish them. Either way, huge shout out to you guys. Much appreciated for all the ongoing support, and hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.